including Kim Fields, we all had said, "Oh, we're going to go to Pepperdine University." She's the only one that went. I didn't make it there, and we haven't spoken in so long, and the last time I spoke to her, we talked about that. But thinking about that whole dorm life and to experience that, and what would that have been like for me, and coming from the place that I did, and from the family that I did, and being so sheltered, and what kind of person would I be today if I had experienced that and not what I have experienced? It just makes me wonder.
Yeah, it's interesting, like, because you talk about just looking back at periods of your life, and of course, you had an incredible growth period, during Control, but it seems like the biggest shift in your life was when you were making Poetic Justice with the parts of the film. Is that true? Like, is that
the biggest shift in my life? And
how you developed? It seemed like you really came out of your
I started to then.
Cursing every 5 minutes.
You don't forget a thing, do you? You don't forget anything. Well, I mean, I have to thank John Singleton for that, and working with Pac and Regina and Joe. It was a great experience for me.
Do you think your obstacles in Hollywood have more to do with you being a singer or you being a sister?
I think it all depends upon the time period you're talking about. I think as of recent, I would say being a sister.
Okay, why?
Because they've straight out told me that at times.
Like what?
I'll give you an example, and this was back then. I was going to do something with a soft drink during the Janet album, and the contract was done. We were getting ready to sign, and then the first molestation allegation came about, and they said, well, we think we might want to hold off on this. It's like, okay, we're two different people. Exactly. That has nothing to do with me. We're two different, so why should that filter into, but that's why. And not that I ever blamed him for it or said it was his fault in any way, because it wasn't. But a lot of times people see us as one. See everybody in my family as... That's it? I thought there was...
What was the last bit? I thought that was so moved. That was the one where you, like, because I think you open your concert and you just ask everybody to say a prayer for him and something.
Yeah, after a couple of songs I did. Yeah.
Well, like, I was wondering just, like, what troubles you've gone through in the last couple of years and stuff. Like, do you feel, like, a new understanding of what he's been going through for all these years? Just sort of, like...
Well, of course you do, and still, of course, it's tough as nails, and I got a little taste of it, you know?
But so do you feel like there's just not enough roles out there for black women? Like,
of course there aren't. There aren't a lot of roles, and I think, maybe we need to create our own.
I was talking to somebody about that. I don't know why. It was like I laughed after. I think it was like right after I talked to Jermaine, and I was like, Janet really wants to act. And she was like, well, Janet has all this money. Why doesn't she just, buy her own this, or get her own production company, or hire a director? Why doesn't she just...
Because see, sometimes you don't want to do that either. And see, and then sometimes if you're that crazy about the passion, have that much of a passion for it, you will do that. And I'm a really patient person, and that's awful. And I sit and think, if I would have developed that idea back then, if it had done, what?
The Dorothy Dandridge?
No, I'm just saying in general. It would have been developed, done, movie shot, on to the next project. So, because time flies so quickly, but when I'm in it, I'm going, this is going to take too long. I don't know if I want to do this. I don't know if I want to develop it. But as you get older, exactly, but as I've gotten older, I'm starting to swing more that way. And I'm still impatient, but it's a process that I'm entertaining more and talking about it. I'm enjoying the I'm sorry. I'm enjoying the evolution of it, and just with coming coming up with certain ideas, and I have
What
been.
type of role would you want to play? What would be your ideal?
I would love to do something that would be incredibly dramatic and just the antithesis of, I guess, who people think I am, which is probably who I am.
Which is what? No, which is probably who you are.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a question.
No, I'm waiting.
Would you rather win an Oscar or have an album that outsold Legend?
Win an Oscar.
I know you had said in the past that you would love to have an album that outsold.
Yes.
You'd rather.
Can I have both though?
No.
I can't have both?
You can have both in real life, but not for the purpose of this question.
I would
I hope you have both in real life.
win an Oscar.
Okay. So.
It's just a passion.
Yeah, it's really, I mean, the thing is, a lot of times,
What would your acceptance speech be like?
you'll pick up bad habits here, like,
Honestly, I think I would be so nervous.
like I do.
I really do think I would be very nervous.
Yeah, it's like, if you're doing money, you gotta throw
Yeah. So what would you want to say? Because that's your opportunity to really say something. What would you say?
I don't know. It'd have to be in the moment, I suppose. I don't know what I would say, but I know I would be in disbelief for one.
One of the things I know that you were passionate about, I guess was that Lita Horn miniseries or something like that.
Yeah.
Did you talk to her at all at the Legends thing, at Oprah's Legends thing?
She wasn't there.
Oh, she wasn't there.
From what I know, she's very ill,
Okay.
and she was not there. So
No, I just with her, it's something like me, so I'm thinking,
Should I ask you that?
right. Yeah.
What?
nothing.
What's behind it? I cannot read your looks.
Are you too warm? You want me to tell her to turn it down? I'm gonna take this. You see how I spoke into that before I put it down, like I'm doing right now? Yeah, no, I said I'm going to take this off.
Oh, okay.
I'm out. He tells you that. Why? Well, like,
I don't know what the name of the dance is. What's that dance? That motorcycle? Oh, you don't know.
I'll be like, I'll just snatch it.
Okay, I have tried the thing with it. Yes, I have.
Your dancer.
What?
Your dancer would be a lot of
They're adorable.
I want some scene, I want some shirtless scenes and videos and on tour.
You do?
What was the guy with the little mohawk?
Oh, that's Blake. He's a beautiful dancer.
So you know what to do.
Okay, I'll try to hook you up. Or in the tour or something. We'll figure it out.
I would say, I was reading the Control liner notes, and you wrote about your mother. You said, special thanks to Mother for loving me and sticking by my side through this project, no matter what it was I decided to do. I wonder what you meant by that. So you talked about a lot about how your father felt, with the decision to go to Minneapolis and all that kind of stuff. He
Right.
wasn't comfortable with it and blah, blah, blah. But, what did you mean by this is your
That was a tough time for my mother too, because I had moved out of the house and she wanted me to move back home, and I had done that, and it was hard for her to let me go. She was crying when I did, and I know she wanted me to do certain things, take a certain path in life that I didn't take.
Like what?
Religion-wise.
Okay.
And even though I thank God for it, it was a great foundation. Great foundation. But it's just not for me at this moment what their belief is. At least not at this moment in my life.
How many brothers is grieving you?
She's a witness, and my mother. But I have cousins, and my grandparents were, and my father used, years and years ago, my father used to study.
One of those ones actually, it's most of the times we see you with your family, through some times of trouble and stuff like that. I was wondering, what do you feel are the most positive things that your family brings to your life?
Love, comfort when I need it. I get get beside myself when I'm with my family, when we're all together, because it's not easy to get us all together. So I'm just beaming with joy. It's just it's so much fun. It's so much fun, and obviously we will sit there and we'll all eat together, but there's so many of us. Some of us will be in the room over here, and you're wondering, where's so-and-so? And you'll wind up finding out that they're in the room playing music, just fiddling around, fooling around, creating stuff, having a good time laughing, while others are over here and we're all playing a game in this room over here.
Okay. What types of games do you play? What types of games does Jackson family play?
We love Pictionary. It's about what types of games does my mother like, and that's what the Jackson family likes.
And you said she's very competitive at what?
Incredibly, at everything, everything. That's where our competitive edge, well, it comes from both of our parents. But my mother, she's ruthless. Tony, my trainer, will tell you, they play Scrabble, cards, everything together, and he calls them the Golden Girls. She and one of her best friends, she's been friends with for years. And he says that she cheats, but she pinches him under the table because she gets so upset when he starts to win. She's very competitive. We play cards, we play Pictionary.
And what's on the menu?
We normally, well, for Thanksgiving we'll have, we get together, I should say, on Thanksgiving, because that's the day that everything shuts down. So that's one day that we've been able to get together. Nobody's working, so we can all, we'll have our turkey and all that, and the candied yams.
Do you cook? No, you can't cook.
You know, everybody, it's so funny, everybody thinks none of my sisters can cook. All of my sisters. The one thing that I love about the way our parents raised us was that my mother made sure that we were able to do everything.
Okay.
And I love that.
Is that your way of saying you can cook or not?
Yes, I do know how to cook.
What? What's your dish?
It's bad. It's not healthy. It's catfish and all that stuff.
Really fried catfish?
I love it. And hot water cornbread.
What do you season your catfish with?
I'm curious. I season it with Lowry's.
You act like every question I'm asking you, like, the most personal question on earth. We gotta talk about catfish. It's not that deep.
No, because I've never had anybody to
Ask you about catfish?
No, I haven't. But it's bad for you, so I don't. And I would prefer to have a chef because I don't like thinking about it. What am I going to eat? I'd rather for it to be just given to me.
Patience. So that's your own patience thing, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so.
You know, that's one of my favorite Bible verses is count it all joy as you fall on various trials, knowing that the testing of your faith builds patience. But I have a patience thing, you know. I think I get that tattoo.
Is that what you're gonna? That's what you're gonna do? You're thinking about it?
Not the whole phrase. I think I'm just gonna get count it all joy. I mean, I think it both reminds me of the phrase, and it also just reminds me of, like, you know, I think that we think of life as just this experience that we're supposed to have and that we're lucky to be having.
Right.
We should count everything as joy, the good and the bad.
Right.
To kind of remember that, you know. Anyway, what happened to the key that you swear in your ear?
Which one? The first one, the gold one?
I didn't know that was different. There was like an American Bandstand key and then
no, you
like
didn't.
a Rhythm Nation key.
No, you didn't. Yes, there is a Rhythm Nation key, and then there's a key that I wore before that.
That was like the key to a cage or something.
That's what that was. Yeah. So I don't know where that key is. It might be in my storage, but the Rhythm Nation key I still have.
Okay. So you're gonna start rocking the key again?
I don't think so. But I think I saw one in Alicia's ear. On a performance that she did. I mean, well, Alicia Keys, Key.
What do you feel like, who do you feel like when you look out there? I mean, what do you feel like you've offered to the game? Like, what do you think how do you think you have changed things for, like, other sisters in music that are coming up now?
I hope I've made it easier for them. I hope, to accomplish their goals, to opening that door just a little bit wider for the next ones to come through, so that it's not as difficult as it was for me. And it was much easier for me than it was for the ones that came before me.
Yeah.
So, and hopefully they'll do the same. Hopefully they'll, until it's, just...
Well, okay, so when when you're getting your Legends tribute, whatever, what do you want to be said about them? Like when you're sitting there, and let's say like a Sierra or somebody like that, and they're reading a poem, like the Pearl Plague poem that you all read, like they're reading, like what kind of things do you want them to say?
I don't know. I don't. I'm awful at stuff like
How
that.
much longer is this?
I know you want to kick me out, right? Unlatch the door and throw me to my death. That's awful. Someone that will never be forgotten is really what I'd love to be. That will never, because, and I feel guilty too in saying this, because I feel I think it, then maybe I'm the one that to do something about it. I see when Elvis's birthday is celebrated, or when his death is celebrated. But then it pains me when I don't see Marvin Gaye's birth celebrated, which was the day he died. And that's our hero.
Yeah.
And he was a master. Period. And that's why I say I have to point the finger at myself as well. And not just Marvin Gaye, but there are so many, Sammy Davis Jr., there are so many others. And I think we need to change that.
Yeah.
Even if it's just as simple as on that day every year, some sort of a candlelight vigil, or for it to be made mention, and in some sort of way, just so, because those people were they were important to music and to life and to a movement and what they stood for. And I sometimes feel like they're almost, even though to a certain degree they'll never be forgotten, but the next generation, if you say, do you know who they are? I don't think they really would know. But if you ask them who Elvis is, they'd know who that is. It's the way that I feel.
And I know just every time, I just think of, David Ritz, of course, has brilliantly made the parallels between you and Marvin in terms of like your, so it's one of my favorite interviews. I just recently read it. But what was going through my mind? Are you talking to David for this album too? He wrote interludes and stuff. Wow.
Yeah, he did. We've discussed it, so it may happen, it may not happen.
Oprah has said a lot that, people kind of root for you to a point. Like people generally want you to be successful, but then you might cross the line and become too successful, and then they are kind of like working against you. Have you found that in your own career? Like, have you seen that? Just like people wanted you to be a certain place, but it was like when you maybe were perceived to be stepping outside of boundaries, and like they kind of turned against you or something. That's okay if you don't. Oprah said it, not me.
When they're rooting for you, and once you get to a certain place, and they're pulling, yanking you, trying to, I think it's very true, and I think it happens to everyone. I think when you get to a certain level, I should say it happens to everyone. If you get to that certain level, then you're not the underdog anymore to a lot of people, and they want to tear you down as quickly as they built you up.
But who do you feel you are at this point in your career? Do you think that you're the underdog? What are you? What you represent to people?
A part of me feels like an underdog.
Okay, why?
I think because of just in the past few years, things that have a few chain of events that have happened, which I'm not going to get into.
Did I ask?
No, you didn't, but I'm just telling you.
Do you feel like people are rooting for you, or do you think people are like? You know, like, let's say like Mariah's come back, people are like, oh please, she's over, and then she kind of like surprised. It's like I don't think a lot of people are rooting for her. I think people really kind of like have written her off. Like, do you think people have written you off, or do you think people are like,
no, I don't
oh,
think.
I really hope Jenna comes back?
I don't, and I felt so badly with that for Mariah because it's just so cold and unfair. But I'm so happy that she still held her strength in her ground and kept herself together and showed them, look it, I'm not going anywhere. I don't think people feel that way about me. At least I think they're rooting for. I hope they're rooting for me. I hope they're rooting for me. I think they're rooting for me. It would not. It's, you know, no one wants anyone to feel like you're being written off. No one wants that. But I think they're rooting for me. I think there's a lot of anticipation about that project.
Right.
I think with them seeing a lot of the artists that are out today, and they see a great deal of similarities. I think that makes them want to root for me even more because they see where it originally stemmed from,
Right.
and who was inspired by it, and it's nice.
Can I ask you a question since you brought something up and you can answer it or not answer?
You can ask it.
I'm just curious. I really just, and the only reason I'm asking is because I just thought of it because you said it, like, because I think I understand, but like, you know, is the reason you don't want to talk about certain things because you don't want to be defined by it? Is it because you don't want to, like, to be interrogated about, like, the specifics anymore? It's because you feel like you've said your piece? Like, what's the reason behind why you don't want to bring it up anymore? You know what I mean?
It's just over.
I understand all the three reasons.
It's just over and done with to me. It's old. It's past. It's history. And you know, you're onto something new. You've moved on from it. You know, however you might feel that okay, everybody got their licks in, whatever the case is, for those that wanted to.
Right.
And it's, you know, it's done.
It's there. What?
Nothing. I'm just smiling.
That's another control question. Bro, with the 20 years old thing. See, I haven't wrote it down here. Like,
I enjoy talking to you, though.
I enjoy talking to you.
You know what? I'll tell you this. This song,
Did what?
yeah, that was hard for me to sing.
Really? Why?
Because the night I sang it, the following day, I was to go to my brother's ranch, and you have to forgive me because I can't remember the certain terms, or but that's and please forgive me. I can't think. That's where we were waiting on a daily basis for the verdict in the jury they were meeting, and it was nerve-wracking. Even though I knew in my heart what was. But still, it made it difficult for me to sing because he was on my mind a great deal when I was singing that. And I don't even think Jimmy knows to this day, but I had cried in the studio while I was singing that song. Enjoy, and what it was just saying, and it reminded me of him. Especially, it was actually when I was doing the backgrounds, because I did the backgrounds first, and that's when I was, and the backgrounds reminded me, for some reason, of him. And I just so happened to be in a vocal booth that didn't have any windows, didn't have a window, so you couldn't see the control room. And I was crying while I was singing those backgrounds, and after everything was said and done, I came back and I did the leads.
Yeah, I mean, there was something about that song, like, I mean, because I really did like it all, like, really, and that's why, like, I don't really think you need to talk about the album that much, because I think the album speaks for itself, like, I think it's that good, but, like, those three songs, like, really, like, they reached in and grabbed me. Like, I mean, with you, like, the first word you say, like, I felt like I was, like, right in the moment, you know, it's just something I enjoy, it just felt so, you know, I don't know, like, I just felt, and it's weird listening to music with my, like, you know, looking at, so it's weird having that experience. It's weird really being able to let yourself go and have that authentic experience. I really felt that with those three. Good. You know, like, we see pictures of you, like, like his trial, like, you're all walking in, and it's like, I think as fans and just as people that care about you and care about your family, we just kind of wonder, like, what's in your mind during that moment when you see you, like, going through the thing, you're wearing your black shades and your white coat, like, what's in your head? I'm actually really good with my water. Thanks.
I don't know if I can talk about this. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about this actually.
Okay. I respect that.
Thank you.
Rhythm Nation was such a powerful social statement, and you felt like just like it seemed like you were just like overflowing with things to say about like, things going on in society.
Right.
And I was wondering, like, obviously this album isn't that, but if you were to speak out, like, what are the issues that are on your mind now in terms of social issues?
I mean, the war concerns me a great deal. And that would probably be a chunk of it. The children in Africa, what's going on in Africa. And there's a lot going on in different parts. I mean, you have the kids that are starving over here. You have that whole, what part is it? It's help me with the city. Ooh, you are awful. Where they're just constantly, they're killing. I can't think of the name of the actual city where they're just killing the people.
They're getting like all the child soldiers and all that kind of stuff.
Yes, and it's awful. So it would be about that. I mean, I still in my heart want to at some point, and trying to get it together now, but it takes a great deal of time and a lot of thought. But I aside from wanting to do something more for children here than what I do, I want to do something for the people in Africa.
Yeah.
And then there's the whole AIDS epidemic, even over in Africa, and how they're dying. No, I'll eat it.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. You could take some of this down. Sorry? Can you mix it for me? And put a lot of pepper? I love a lot of pepper.
About 1/3 to 2/3.
Okay, that's fine.
What's your favorite video?
Of whose?
Yours.
I don't have just one. Just like I didn't want to answer the question about an Oscar over selling a ton of records.
One of my favorite
Can't I have my way? Everybody says I'm spoiled in my family anyway. I want both. I want both, damn it.
Okay, fine. It sounded like I was watching, I guess, Diversion video compilation, I love the Together Again remix video.
Oh, I don't. It was a different video.
Slow one.
Oh, you do?
I really do.
Oh, that's sweet.
I think, because I was thinking about it, like I was having this conversation with a friend. Like, I met this friend for coffee, like right after I talked to Jermaine. So, like, you being an actress was kind of like on my mind, So we were having this conversation, and she really liked doing Poetic Justice too. And so we were just like watching some of the videos to see which ones we thought were like really show like an acting side. And so we were thinking that one. There's something you seem to really capture this emotion in that, and also like something about the "Got Till It's Gone" video too. Like you seem to really. There's something about like your expressions or something. You seem that it's almost like it's a character. Like
really?
It's not like it's you.
You know what? I like 24 Play.
Yeah.
It was fun because that was the
that's great, yeah.
last time I ever did a piece like that. And see, it's hard for me to just choose one because I thought Scream was a great video too.
You can have this in the
You're a mess.
So you can think about it. One thing we talked about last time, like, I don't even know why we were talking about it or how it came up, but you were saying, like, you were talking to Latoya, I think, about, like, family and everything, and she was telling you that, like, Janet, if you want to have kids, don't wait, you can go ahead and have kids if you want. Do you think about that you want kids? Do you think about having kids more?
I do, and I will. I didn't before, but with Jermaine, I do.
What's your relationship like with his daughter?
She's too cute. She's smart. I like her. Sweet girl. I hope she likes me. I think she
What
likes
does she call you?
Janet.
What do you think, what's been the biggest obstacle with, like, kids? Just the timing, you haven't really wanted, you weren't sure, did you have time?
It was not wanting them. I didn't think I would have children, and I didn't want children in my past relationships. I didn't think I would even make a good parent if I had them. I just, or fearful that I wouldn't make a good parent.
How are you going to deal with your perfectionism being a parent? You can't really be, there's no impossible to be a perfect parent.
I know, but everyone tries to be the perfect parent, and you always fall short in some areas. You just have to do the best that you possibly can. I'm so trying not to think about that, but everyone says that I would make, it's so funny. Janet just said the other day, because she had to have surgery on her knee, she goes, oh my God, you're going to be such a good mom. And everyone has always told me that. Thank you. No, thank you. I'm good. Thank you.
Do you want to take a break while you eat?
No, I'm good. So, you don't want me crunching in your recorder?
All over my...
But I did want kids before, and being with Jermaine, it's changed me. I do. And his daughter's beautiful, Shania. She's very smart. Very smart.
You know, it's weird, I was thinking about, obviously I watch a lot of Oprah, right? But like, Oprah always talks about how, we're drawn to people in terms of relationships that help us kind of reconcile things in our past, and I just thought it was really interesting how kind of inadvertently, because you talked about like on DeVita Joe, you didn't really want Jermaine to be involved and all this kind of stuff, and I thought it was interesting how like inadvertently you sort of had very public relationships with people that have also become very involved in your career, and then your dad is the one that started you on the whole career path anyway. I just thought that was really, what do you think about that?
About that relationship and the way I've started my relationships, personal relationships, and the relationship with my father. The way that I've started those relationships and the relationship with my father, who's the one who started.
Fascinating that,
there probably is something there, and I never looked at it like that. And then you're saying this one started off completely different.
Without being a part of him being involved in music, and now
look at where it is.
Yeah, and he wasn't president of Virgin or anything. It wasn't any of even the circumstances, but it's like.
To me, that's what also makes me feel that it was meant to be, and that it was God. And just in the way that, which once again, I'm not going to go into because I want to keep certain things to myself. But just in the way we even actually got together, it was different.
Well, you met on someone to call your lover.
No. Jermaine and I met.
I mean, you didn't meet them, but that's where you kind of started connecting again or something?
Yeah, we did. And
he confirmed it, like, yeah, backtrack.
Yeah, we did.
And then,
what else did he tell you?
And then, I want him to beat me up next time he sees me.
No, he said, I just want to see what he told you.
Well, so anyway, and then I guess he pursued you and you weren't really feeling that first, right? Like, what was your initial, did he like ask you out or something? And why did you initially say no or initially kind of put him off?
Because I did not think that I would wind up being with someone.
Really? You thought you were going to be alone?
Yep. Yeah, I really did. Thinking of myself as being like 85 or something already is the way it seemed at the time. It was that moment, that space that I was in. I was like, okay, this is going to be my life. If this is it, I'm fine with it. But I was dating people, and I was okay with that. And I hadn't experienced that before, so it was good. It was good for me. It was like kind of a screwed up way to do it, but I was actually, at least I got the opportunity to experience something that I hadn't experienced before. So it was like being a kid again in a sense. And we actually became friends. He said he asked me out.
I'm not telling you what he said.
No, you did he say that he asked me out?
I'm not telling you what he said. I protect people's privacy, that's all.
Ooh, you are so wrong.
So anyway, so like, when did you like feel that moment? You know, like sometimes, because I feel like I'm the type of person that I would like to be more proactive about relationships. Like I wish I was the one that like initiated a lot of relationships. But when I look back and I have to be honest with myself, most of the people I've been involved with for a long period of time have been the people that actually pursued me. And I know that like there's this moment I think that I always feel like when I feel like my guard drops. You know what I mean? There's a moment when you kind of decide to let somebody in. Nothing like, what was that moment like for you where you said, okay, I'll take his BlackBerry, I'll answer, you know, say whatever, I'll get
See, Jermaine denies this, but he was very slick about the situation. He got me a present for my birthday.
Okay.
And it was, well, he said it was an honest birthday present. And it was a two-way.
Okay.
Because someone had said my birthday was coming up and we were working on someone to call my lover. So he got me this for my birthday. So you have to exchange information. Right? You feel obligated to.
Right.
So that's how we started to become friends and got closer.
And was there a moment, I'll be into specific, but was there a moment when you felt like
this is right? Of course there was.
Was it a look? Was it a thing that he did? Was it a, you know what I mean? Like what? Did you just wake up one morning and you were like, wow, this is the way I want to feel for a while? You know what I mean? Like what? He was like,
it still wasn't just one. It didn't happen just one time. I felt like it happened more than once. Obviously I'm making myself clear. It wasn't just at one moment I said, okay, yeah. It's like it kept saying yeah to me, but it was at different times. And I guess
of all the connections, all the things he was saying.
It was that. It was once something that he did. It was another time. It was just a moment that we shared, and I for myself shared even more so with him because I knew what was going through my head at that moment. And that's one of the reasons why I love Miami so much, because a major and important part of us actually, we spent a great deal of time in Miami.
Like, I think the first time I ever saw you all together was at Lisa Lopez's funeral. I think it was you and he and your mother.
Yes.
I just remember thinking, wow, that must be, and I think that was still very early in the relationship.
We were...
Or it was early, at least when it was public.
Oh, really?
I just thought like, wow, that must be, there has to be some connection between people to go to a funeral together. You know what I mean? That's such a weird thing. So that's what made me think that, wow, there must be really something to this, you know?
Well, you know what's really odd about that? We actually weren't together then.
Really?
We were talking and we were friends, but we weren't like together then.
Okay.
But what's really odd about it is I think a couple of people wanted to see us together that knew him for years and also knew me for years.
Okay.
Because not that long ago I had said to him, I brought that up, and he looked at me like I was crazy, unless Jermaine isn't telling me the truth. And he said, well, they told me that you wanted me to take you. And I said, they told me that you wanted me to go but didn't know how to ask me. And I said, what's the big deal? I said, that's fine, I'll go. So I think they were kind of matchmaking because they had known both of us for a very long time. And one friend said, you really should meet Jermaine. He's such a sweet guy and this and that, and I think you'd really like him. And I was with someone at the time, but they were just talking about us as friends, but they may have been trying to matchmake then because they saw where my head was and where I was, and that I wasn't that happy, even though I was still moving along with it. So I think when I look at, you know what it is, when I look at Jermaine, I see myself. For a better way to explain, I feel like I'm looking right at me, like I'm looking in the mirror. That's the connection that I feel with him that I have never felt with anybody.
Do you think you're able to love him more because you love yourself more now? That you're more accepting of yourself? So like.
Yes, but see, he's also a part of that. I know that there was a lot that I've learned about acceptance and how important it is, but still. There are moments when I have fallen, and you kind of fall back. And then for myself, I have to kind of start over again with the whole importance in accepting myself. And what?
No, go ahead.
And to see the love that he has given me unconditionally, and how he accepts every thing about me, every inch of me.
Why are you smiling when you say inches?
You're a mess.
Anyway. Okay, well here's an interesting theory related to like what we were talking about, that Oprah thing that I was talking about, you know, that you were about like part of your career and stuff. Because it seems to me like, you know, you were a child star, of course. And I think just like, I can just imagine, again, I'm just speculating, you know, but it seems to me like if you're a child performer, you have to see kind of some of your worth in terms of like your performance, you know what I mean? Like you think, it seems like that would just be a natural thing, that part of your self-worth is wrapped up in how you are as a performer, you know? And so it just seems interesting to me now that, like, you're with somebody that is able to accept you as a performer, but is also able to accept you completely as a woman and everything you are outside of being a performer, too. So it seems like that's like, if you look at the theory that kind of you go into relationships in order to grow or in order to kind of reconcile, like, I can see how that could be kind of, you know.
I mean, even though you're not saying this, but also he's even experienced the same.
That's true, yeah.
Being a performer since he was a child, and it's like understanding both sides of your life, and me understanding his. It's coming from the same place.
By the inches thing again?
No, see, no, that's you.
No, it's you. That's the only true lasting thing with art. That's the only thing that really lasted. Because she felt that even though human beings bring a lot to your life, you couldn't really depend on that. You couldn't have stock in that. Whereas
I think that was the love of her life.
Are you glad that's not just the love of yours? Like, are you glad you found?
I am happy because honestly, I didn't think it was going to happen for me. I really didn't. And I just thought, you know, some people go through life like this, and others, they're very fortunate in that way, very blessed, I should say, in that way. And I just thought, you know, God blessed me in other ways. And this is just something that's not meant to be for me, because it's the one thing that's one of the most important things to me, and one of the things that drives me the most.
What do you want me to ask you now? Have we talked enough about sex? Do you think the interview's sexy enough?
That's on you. This is your consent.
Alright, now it's your card. See that? You saved yourself by many.
You can have a real sex question.
That's it, right?
I don't know, I think it is weirder asking somebody in a relationship about sex, you know, because it does feel more personal or something.
This is the one I was holding, yes? It's much easier for me to talk to you about me, or when we're talking about, in the past when we talked about the albums and the certain things, and you know, I've talked about being a size queen with people in the past, with journalists, but now it's like being in a relationship, and now it's like these two people, then to have, like you said, to have that question asked, it's a little, it is a little, yeah. And I've never said, baby, do you mind if I talk about you in that kind of way? Does it bother you? I've never asked him. You might be getting me in trouble.
Anyway, it doesn't, because you're so, like, obviously